extends right down to our locale, and so we're grateful for that. You've ordained all things through your word and power. And we thank you for the superintendents here and their service to us. Pray for unity from them in making just governance and decisions for our county. Pray for wisdom as they do that. I pray for as we gather here for civility in our deliberations and discussions, even amongst different opinions, and we would treat each other with respect and in all our time here this morning. So all these things I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brethren. All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please? Fitch? Here. Stancil? Here. Hobbs? Here. Okay, and review of the agenda. Any changes or disclosures of conflict of interest?
Do you want to move public comment below presentations? They got inadvertently moved.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you discuss the public health building sales, we can put that under old business or
Just bring it up under business, because it is old business.
Yeah. So we're gonna move the order of the agenda, putting public comment after presentations and before resolutions, and we're gonna add under old business, sale of public health building. Okay, all right. Any other changes? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved with the changes.
Do I have a second?
second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Now we're going to the consent agenda. I do have a question on one of the claims regarding cameras for the courthouse. Do you have
Yeah,
an update on that?
absolutely.
A deposit of like a little over 6,000, what are we doing?
That is a new, you know, the central camera in the courthouse? That one, the resolution is not working well,
Okay,
and it's an improvement, it's a replacement.
okay,
And then the other one is additional cameras in the new, conference room
okay.
upstairs.
Okay.
And then there were two other places. One is gonna be inside the auditor's office, at the elections, area.
Okay.
And then the fourth one is the uncovered area that is in the basement as you walk into the ramp door. There's no camera there on that entrance.
Outside or inside?
Inside.
Inside, okay.
So, yeah, those are where those are located.
Okay, what's the total? I know it's a deposit of 6,000, what's the total?
I'm sure it'd be 50, is it 12?
That's half.
Half of it?
So it's 24
And that was in the.
12.
Okay, so it's a replacement of one existing camera and then.
The major camera in the central of the courthouse.
And that's very old, isn't it?
It
Almost
is.
outdated.
It's old, yeah, it's way outdated. I do have a question.
Sure.
Because we're considering using that new conference room, potentially if the courts need to move court down there to accommodate ADA accessible, we wanna make sure they're okay with having a camera there.
That would be the first I knew the court system was going to be using the
It was
the
something
conference room.
it was something we offered as an option if they ever had a case where someone couldn't make it up the elevator. They could
Oh,
always use that room. Now, whether or not they take us up on it, I don't know, but as we move more towards ADA compliance, I wanna make sure that the court's aware of that.
I would love to have been aware of that,
Yeah,
so I did not know. So we may just put a pin, we'll get the camera, we may have to do further, where we put it in place. It'll be focused mainly on the vault door where all the election equipment is.
Got it.
That's the purpose.
Have the courts reached out wanting that?
No, it's something that came up with the ADA, state person, we discussed that, and I was gonna wait till she finished her review before we did that. The other option is, we can always just turn it off if they have to.
Yeah,
So if
remember
you
too,
wanna-
the only access to those cameras is the county attorney and the sheriff.
Okay,
So it's absolutely, it's not like we're walking around looking on our phones,
okay.
but again, hopefully that makes sense.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
perfect.
That
Okay.
was a really good call on the Brant one.
I was shocked that there wasn't a
I was
camera
kind of
there.
surprised.
He was,
It's a
yeah,
good
good call.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
thank you. Is there any more with that?
No, nope.
Also, anyone
Do
speaking
we have the
today?
quotes, or do we?
I haven't seen the quote.
Can you share the quotes and the estimates?
We don't
for that?
typically, but absolutely can. Absolutely.
One other question, do we know if the cameras are NDA compliant?
They are, because we went through that whole
Yes.
situation before.
So we double
they
checked.
are NDA compliant.
Good, all right, thank you.
All right, and then, just as a note, our microphone seems to be malfunctioning, so I've got new batteries in it, so if you're up here speaking, please project from the diaphragm.
Okay. All right, any other questions on the consent agenda?
No.
Did you wanna get a copy of that quote before we do anything, or do you? It's okay. Okay, can you send the board a copy of the quote?
I absolutely will.
Thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So,
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Can
Oh.
you make sure people can hear on the phone?
Oh.
please, Heather?
Thanks. Can someone double check and let us know you can hear us? Just hit *6 to unmute your phone and say hello, and then hit *6 to mute it again if you would.
You're good.
Okay.
Can hear you. You're coming
All
through.
right, thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And let me know if I need to unmute. No, you're good. I'm good, okay. All right, so, all right, we'll go on to department head reports and discussion. Brady, you are up.
All right, Brady Foreman, EMS Director. For the year total so far, I have 1291 for calls. We've actually had 2 since then, since I printed that off this morning. So we're at 1293 right now. We'll probably be awful close to 1300. I mean, kind of see how that's broke down there on the form. December was kind of calm, which it normally is. We don't usually have too much going on. We did have active shooter training on the 4th with a bunch of the department heads. That was very good training. Don Kenny with the Sheriff's Department put that on for us. On the 12th and 13th, we did First Responder Days of Christmas, which is the thing we do every year with the Sheriff's Department, City Police, Fire, EMS. On the Friday night, we took 11 kids around. They got to buy some Christmas presents for family, for themselves. We bring them back to the meal site, wrap them up. On Saturday, we did 18 kids total. I know Ken Burke Foundation puts a bunch of money toward that. Donations from the community do that. It's very, very appreciated. The kids have a great time. Bring pizza in for them. The 17th, we had a quarterly trauma meeting with Madison County Hospital. And then the 18th, of course, we got our budget meeting. So I'm sure you guys have been doing a bunch of that. That's about all we have for December. Any questions for me on anything?
is the trauma, is that with the ER or?
Yeah, so it's with the ER, Dr. Subbeth, who's our medical director, plus their medical director of the ER. We kind of go over trauma cases that we brought in, how theirs is from like time of door to doctor. Ours is like to see how our guys, did we have C-collars before we got to the ER? Just kind of, did we take them to Des Moines? Did we bring them to their hospital? If they're really bad, we try to go to Des Moines with us. Did they come by private vehicle to the ER, then did we transfer them out, you know? Just kind of a bunch of different, the hospital, of course, has a lot different criteria that they have to meet than what we have to meet. We have different criteria on because they've got more that they have to meet. If they come to their ER by us or by private vehicle, what they have to do before they can send them out, or if we bring them, then what we have done to what they do. So yeah, it's just kind of a collaboration of how everything's working together.
I got a call from, it wasn't concerning our county, but 2 people called in a very tragic event. The question was, can a paramedic pronounce at the scene?
Yes, yes, we can. 99% of the time, we're gonna call for medical orders. We'll call and get a doc, we'll tell them what we have, and they'll go ahead and pronounce it. It's just easier that way. But we can, yes.
Yes, okay, good, I gave the right answer, thanks, Brady.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, you are up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Hackett. I'm the Madison County Secondary Roads Engineer. Reason I'm here today is just to kind of go over our 6 resolutions that we bring to the board today. I also hope everybody had a good holiday and hope everybody is having kind of look forward to a new year and get things going. These are standard resolutions. The first one is approving the secondary roads holiday, and somebody might say, well, why is that a little different? In our handbook, we have a little different holiday schedule. This was done to eliminate a winter holiday to help avoid paying double overtime for the road department. So if you ever wonder why, I think it's President's Day or one of those, they swapped that out years ago for what we call a floating holiday. So secondary road guys will take a floating holiday in lieu of taking President's Day. We did that because we were getting, well, when we have a holiday, it costs a little more money. So that's why that's a little different. That's spelled out in the current handbook. I believe it's Appendix B. Next one. Central Iowa Regional Transportation Planning. Cole Kearns and myself are there to interact with that, to run everything through federal aid projects. A lot of times we come in and do these agreements, bridge replacements, stiff money. Have to have, that's our representation over the central.
And this is yearly?
Yearly, this is all yearly, yes.
Required.
Yep, everything here is yearly. Next one is approving this secondary roads engineer, the authority to close roads temporarily. That meets our Code of Iowa and legality. In order in the middle of the night, we have to close a road, or when we bring these temporary closings to the board on projects that we worked on. A lot of times it's done, but that's what that's for. Next one, we have a utility permit process. Utilities are allowed within our right of way, Code of Iowa, but we do have a permitting process that has guidelines on not to disturb what's there, and a process where they can be.
So they can put the fiber optics in the ditch, can't do it in the road.
Yeah, we don't, here in Madison County, the soils are, not to get into this, the soils are pretty tough, rocks, that type of stuff. Our best practice here is to keep it out of the road and out of the forest slope. Plowed in and bored in tend to cause problems with the rocks. I worked in another county in north central Iowa. They had different terrain, they had a different philosophy. It was better to be in the road there. Here, that's better for them to be in the road ditch or back slope or give private easements. Any other questions on that? Okay. The next one is every year execute projects. You give me the authority to develop projects. We go through the process for roads and bridges. That's what that's for. The last one is for accounting purposes for gas fee. It sets the value of our equipment, bridges and that type of stuff, the accounting purposes that I have to do for reporting. That's all I have. Any other questions? Again, this is a yearly thing.
Thanks for being sweet.
Okay, all right, that's
Thank
the
you.
way we're gonna do it. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, again, reach out to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Michelle, you are up.
Great. Here are copies of my reports, and I can send them electronically to you if you'd like.
That'd be great, Michelle.
You would be.
I had that in mind.
I like paper. You know that.
The other way is you guys, the reason I print them off is so you can follow along as I'm speaking, and I don't mind at all. Either way. Good morning, Michelle Brant, Madison County Auditor. So I have a county update. Since December 9th, which was our hot minute ago, there was the completion on the treasurer's side for July month end. However, we did not balance on the auditor side and needed to reach out to our IT solutions, more to the developer level, to make corrections behind the scenes so we can balance. And I think the treasurer was gonna be on the agenda today, but she may be gone. Yeah, so anyway, I just reached out to her. So I will pause and say anything about where they are as far as August or September. The concern still remains, the auditor's office will be unable to proceed with the accrual process for Dom, and we will experience the consequences outlined in the last meeting. We are in the process, however, of state valuations, and I'm working with Solutions this first time I go through that. It's going well. I've got the TIF district maintenance there's 3 stages, so I'm through stage 2. And was on a meeting with other auditors yesterday, and they are still, some of them are at the same place that I am. So not that I'm comforted by that, but I'm comforted by that.
At least you're not alone.
I'm not alone. The points of interest continue to be the TIF districts and the dissolution of the Orient-Maxburg School District. And I've been asked about consequences for the Winterset and Nottoway Valley School Districts. I did hear back from the Department of Management, and it does appear that I will have to create another temporary school district maybe two, to assess to each parcel within the affected area. So.
It's been a while since they've dissolved a school district, so.
What's that?
It's been a while since we've dissolved a school district, so I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people are.
Yep,
refreshed
so
on
but
that.
I do have, plans to work with the Adair County. I don't think Union will be affected, but we're definitely swapping, folks with us. They're coming into our county, the Nottoway School District. So that's, the accounting update. The budget process timeline, as of December 19th, the preliminary budget review sessions were completed for most departments. December 22nd, the fiscal year 26 budget amendment number 1 was approved. I have communicated with Atkins and Solutions for the server and watch guards. So those are on order, or will be shortly. I do anticipate and it's important, this important note is the 2nd or 3rd week in February is when the next meetings will be scheduled. However, you're gonna be receiving information on like a summary of what we went over in those before then, like about the end of January.
When you say meetings, what do you mean by, because we're gonna still be doing our budget work sessions in January. We're gonna be meeting with other folks like the libraries, Meador.
Correct,
Yes.
correct, and that's the second part there.
Yeah.
The ancillary budget work will be
Okay, that's
completed
what it was on.
before that. And again, I'm waiting on revenues because that's gonna mean everything more meaningful. And as the information is complete, it will be forwarded to the supervisors, and I look for that the 3rd or 4th week of January. So, that's the budget process timeline. State auditor report and update. I did reach out to Maudlin and Jenkins as soon as they were approved as the vendor of choice. I let them know I would be in touch as soon as we could proceed.
And I'm assuming we can't proceed because fiscal 23 and 24 have not been completed yet.
And I can't give an update on that, at this time.
We don't know what the holdup is.
I can't give an update at this time. It's beyond me. So, okay, I'm gonna just, I can talk with you later about that. Other areas of concentration, of course, ongoing is data and safety security. I've got the VPN access with department heads completed, and I expect a resolution by January 13th addressing that. You'll get that in plenty of time before it, so you can actually ask me questions and share concerns. Courthouse custodian, again, I have a future plan of 5 to 10 year plans, so that we don't have camera surprises and, where do we see and how do we see using our annex and our courthouse in the future.
Would you mind, for like ongoing maintenance and stuff like that, I don't think you have to bog us down in the minutia, but whenever there's like a new purchase, like in the case of the cameras, would you mind bringing it to the board first, so we can have that discussion before, cause I just found out on claims, I had no idea you were doing this, and, since we direct the courthouse under Iowa code, it's probably good that we know what's new that's going on.
Oh, I just felt like since we had, gone down the whole road of everything in the last year in fiscal, in 2025, we had several bids, we went to portico cameras, I felt like it wasn't a new thing, but again, to your point, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, if you could do that, I know the last bid was on outside cameras, I know Chip wanted
And
that.
new, 11 new ones inside.
Yeah.
How many were inside? We had a new fisheye, and then there were, camera replacements.
Okay,
I mean, was it 53,000?
yeah, it was.
It was
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah, it was
Something like that, over
significant,
50.
so, but she's new.
Well, there's also the bigger picture question. I know that when I was engaged with camera work, we have two totally different systems. We had some upgrades that were needed, and to me, the bigger question needed to be, are we on the right platforms? There's a possibility that we maybe need a different head in on one or the other, and then.
Well,
and
part
some
of this
continuity.
is so that our law enforcement can remote into the courthouse, which they cannot. So part of this whole project that's what triggered it.
So they will be able to do that now?
They can
Yep,
book in.
they
That's
can,
been
that's
some-
what this all is gonna do, is they'll be able to remote in
Okay.
at any time.
That's been something we've been talking about, the current system that's in the courthouse doesn't have that capability, the system here does.
But that's what this is gonna do.
So we're gonna upgrade it to do that, but to your point, it's two separate systems, two separate camera things, but they should be able to be linked,
They are.
yes, so.
It is my understanding that is that.
So the goal is to have that, so from a safety perspective, if there's something going on, you don't want them to have to come into the courthouse and look at a screen on a computer if there's an issue. You want them to be outside, figure out what's going on before they come in. So we've been talking about it for a long time.
So that's, I guess, why I did not consider this as an innovation
Yeah.
of rather, let's just get her done and let's
No,
try
I
and do it
appreciate,
very.
I appreciate that, just in the future, whenever there's anything new, especially if we have a new member, if we can bring it to the board so everyone's on the same page.
Sure. I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I'd like to look at everything under the lens of, wait a minute, bigger picture, longer term, does this make sense? Or is there a change we need to make now on the front end, to achieve a longer term goal? So I guess that was my point, because that did come up when I worked on those. It's like, wait a minute, we have two totally different systems here. We need some upgrades, and there's different levels of support, there's different capabilities with the different systems, so maybe we should consider standardizing on one or the other. That's the reason I say that, but when we're investing in one or the other, then we're kind of stuck where we are.
And this isn't the whole plan, this is only like $12,000 for the new, so it's not the whole thing we discussed, it's just that small,
I just didn't feel like we could
You're biting off a small chunk.
logistically go down that big picture road right now. But we have just kinda like the strobe situation. Yeah, there's bigger, better, fabulous, but right now we have a need and we have a gap. And that, the gap is the inaccessibility remotely into our courthouse cameras and these 4 areas that,
that needed coverage.
better coverage, yeah. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, this is welcome, this dialogue's very welcome.
Thank you for the clarification.
All right, so then we're gonna go down, we did have an overtime, we had 11 hours of overtime from the evening meetings. There was a comp board meeting, a regular board of supervisors meeting, and a board of health.
Is it possible for somebody who's attending the meeting to unlock and lock the building? Why do we need to pay overtime? Or is it possible to do flex schedule where
So
they
that
come
would
in
be,
later?
my preference is to flex
Okay.
these things. So a great idea, and we'll work on it.
Okay, thank you.
Because I think that, one of the 3 of us, can grab a key and unlock.
For our meetings.
We're gonna be here.
Yep,
So we can unlock the
Absolutely.
building, and then that way we don't have to ask staff and pay overtime to do that. So if you could come up with something, let us know how you want it to work.
develop a plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Vault and IT conversion. The vault has now been secured with a key lock. It works very well. I'm super impressed. The new conference room has, the wall repair's been done, the painting's complete. The ceiling grid and tile replacement, is kind of those things where you start one thing and then you find out there's another thing, and so, the carpet tiles are on order, and the remaining intention for that room is to move the conference room, one of the conference tables from the public health building, to house IT equipment in the cabinet within the space. We've taken all of the old bags and boxes and things that don't work, and we've made an assessment on those. They're currently, you'll see them in the basement. That's all going to the garbage.
There is a company, I think, in Olathe, Kansas. Jen and I looked into it, that will come and maybe pay you a minute amount and take it away. The landfill, that has a lot of things in it you really don't want. And so maybe we could look into getting rid of it more safely.
We'll let you know
That's
about
okay.
what we decide, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just have a question on the IT equipment. How are we securing it in the space?
In a lock cabinet.
Okay, is it the rolling rack or is
No,
it a
no.
separate cabinet?
There is a floor to ceiling cabinet there
Okay,
that will house everything
okay.
except for monitors. And when the time is right, when we can afford it, I'd like to install cabinets in that room. So,
Like an IT cage or an actual?
Phase
no,
lock
just
cabinets.
something that looks handsome.
Oh, I see what you're
Like
saying.
a cabinet counter, because if somebody, I mean, again, you've got two locks, between the front door, the conference room, and the camera that's gonna be in there. So, again, we're talking about monitors, very few monitors, by the way, because a lot of them, we just get those replaced. The spare computers will be locked up, and I haven't even done inventory, but there's like cables and retrofits, for older equipment.
Were you aware that there's cameras there that?
Yep.
We got
Found 'em.
regarding
Found
a
'em.
grant for elections?
Found
Okay.
it.
There,
Found a lot of things.
oh, I
We
was
got-
wondering about those too.
Well, we got a
There's a whole
grant.
box of unopened,
year
and there's
ago.
watch guards. There's
Yeah.
2 brand new watch guards that were
That
never
were
installed.
never installed, yeah, all this happened, I think it came in 2024, but.
I'm just hopeful that those are not the ones we're replacing.
No, I already talked to Solutions about that earlier this year, that's one of the reasons why we didn't have to get a quote for all 12, we only got 9,
Okay,
is because we have those in there.
and those
then-
are not end of life?
Nope, they're new, they just bought them in
Okay.
2024.
I'm glad I found them.
Yes, so, no, I talked to them about that, and then we're not gonna need one in the public health building, so.
Well, anyway, so Tom and I are working on that, and, I'm just excited that we found the missing stuff. The one thing I have not laid my hands on yet are the hard drives. There's a big stack of hard drives somewhere, according to.
Okay.
So, I gotta find that, so we'll find it.
So
And they're empty, by the
cameras,
way.
You were able to use some of those instead of the new? we
No,
quoted,
okay,
or-
so there's 2 things, there's the watch guards, which is the remote, there's the wireless access points, that's
Uh-huh.
what they need in order to work with your laptop around anywhere. And then the cameras, it was a grant from the feds to purchase cameras for the 2024 election to put in voting stations. I don't really know what the reasons why, but they were never used, so they're sitting there.
And they're not the cameras that we need for.
no.
Of course
So these
not.
are portable.
But it's an additional security
But you
if
can
want-
use them.
For elections, the purpose was
For the election.
for the 2024 election, there's a grant.
Okay,
And
thank
they were
you.
never used.
So, house the IT equipment in cabinets locked within the space, and then install a workstation desk, so that's a very big room, the conference table is not going to take it all up. And so over where the server's gonna get moved, kind of in the corner, I wanna have a pop-up or temporary workstation, and we're gonna lose our absentee voting space. space because we've moved offices. So we are going to run absentee voting out of the conference room for the 20 days prior to the, instead of, adding a window and our new space, so.
So they won't be out in the hallway anymore?
Well, they will,
Oh, they will.
but we still have to check people in on the computer.
Or when you're doing that, oh, okay.
And the ballot distribution.
Oh, so that's gonna come out of that.
That's gonna come in
Oh,
that
okay.
room, and then because to have a place where the person who's manning absentee voting will then have a comfortable place to continue to work, so you're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
In the
That's a
hallway.
good idea.
That's a good idea.
Thank
So can you block off, I assume you'll be adding that to Outlook to be able to schedule that conference room for folks?
Yes, that's the very last point there, add as a resource for meeting reservations in the
And
future.
then you're gonna block it off for
Log
that
out for those
time?
20 days.
That's
Mhm.
perfect.
Got it?
One thing, and, this is not urgent or by any means, but for some reason, not everybody can see when a room is booked. So we've had that pop up a couple times. So I don't know if that's just a setting, and I started working on that with solutions and then got
Oh,
sidetracked,
I
so.
think it's more just, a sharing calendar setting,
Yeah.
so I will work on, making it a public. I
Yeah.
think that's what we need to do.
Yeah, I think so.
Cause we had it handled before, do you remember?
I never could see it.
Oh, you never.
None of us could see
I
it.
did that on purpose, no, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
No, none of us could see it. I think it's because everyone's scheduled stuff for us. But no, it wasn't just us, there were other people that couldn't see it. I think the only
Well,
ones that could see it
With the
was-
schedulers?
were the schedulers, but I think it's good because especially for elected officials.
I love the
They
fact
wanna-
that there are resources.
Yeah, I'd like them to be able to see that,
No worries.
so, okay.
Do you guys have any other questions for me?
Yeah, I do. So I had thought we had kind of left off with these transitions and office moves was you were gonna get quotes.
Mhm.
So the auditor's office has already moved, and you've already done some work in
IT vault.
the vault and in the conference room.
Nothing in our old office though, because I'm still waiting for timing. I actually had somebody say to me, it's like, well, can you tell me when we're gonna do this? I said, no, I can't, so.
Okay, yeah, so we'll talk about that then when we get to the old business, if you're able to still be here for that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
All right.
All right.
Anything else for our auditor?
No, thank you for the detailed updates, this is great.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, and Kylie was unable to make it today, so we'll go ahead and do presentation, because we moved public comment after presentations. Ryan, you're up.
I'm getting ready to just chill in the back.
It's what I was thinking. Oh, is it? Yeah, it is. This always impresses me.
Yeah.
This is not from here. Thank you.
Oh, wow. We'll just work down the list real quick. So from a development side of things, not a lot going on this time of year. I expect about the first full week of January, things will accelerate fairly rapidly. But right now, it's a little on the quiet side of things. We have been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so we are working on our own strategic plan for the organization, looking at economic development. And so we have a contract with UNI, and that's been signed. We're gonna have opportunities for elected and civilian, regular people to participate in that. But I think what it's gonna look like will be both a forum process where we will have people around the table discussing stuff, but then we'll also have surveys to reach out to people. Typically in the past, I think when we have looked at that process, we've had trouble engaging with outlying communities and outlying elected. And so this is hopefully a way around that, so that they can provide feedback from the comfort of their couch without having to come to a meeting. The timeline for that project is to be, we'll start in January, and we will hopefully have that wrapped up by July 1 into the fiscal year. And then there'll be a 6-month feedback period on the back end of that. So the feedback period will take us to the end of the calendar year. part of that process, we're also getting, we're finishing up a grant here that's going to pay for about half of that, so I've got good indication that we should fare well in that granting pool, so. Other stuff that we did, so we did submit an RFP on our parcel in town here, so I'm not super hopeful on that one, so we did kind of a light RFP on that, so sometimes when you get a request for proposals, you'll get like a very detailed spreadsheet. So like for the Earlham project, that was a multi-page, 4-page spreadsheet with accompanying documents for that RFP. This is more of a 2-pager, pretty light treatment, because that's just what they requested, so.
Ryan?
Yeah.
The microphone's not working.
It is
so
not.
I'm just trying to save you from stupid.
Oh, well, so this is a pointless endeavor.
Sorry.
I was gonna back in anyway, so.
Yeah, just.
All good,
Let it
all
go.
good, all right, well, we'll just project more than.
Thank you.
Okay. And then we're also doing annual member renewals right now, so we're getting that stuff taken care of during this, small quiet period of time. We're still trying to work with a couple of businesses, but again, this time of year, it's hard to get them around the table, so our BRE stuff is kind of, it's either kind of on hold or it's kind of slowly ongoing. The Earlham industrial site that we had submitted on, we found out that that entire project shifted out of region, so, we didn't lose it to another jurisdiction in Iowa, we lost it to an entire region. So they moved that whole project to the Gulf Coast. So, yeah. Because I know Stuart was swinging for it too, and they had a pretty nice proposal put together as well. So we were both, Stuart and I, we communicate a lot between our economic development groups, and so
I'm sorry,
we were both disappointed by that outcome.
when you say Gulf Coast, does that mean Texas or Florida?
We're probably looking at Louisiana. They're probably looking for better port access than what we had. They prioritize, you know, they send out a rubric of what they want, and then they decide later that the port access matters more, so then they just ship the whole thing out of region. It is what it is, it happens, so. But, Iowa Interstate is still interested in that, Iowa Interstate Railroad is still interested in that site, and we're gonna meet after the holidays to figure out how to continue to elevate that, and, just keep plugging away on it. It's a good site, we've got a lot of faith in it, Iowa Interstate's got a lot of faith in it too, so. We'll just continue to try to chip on the engineering side of things, so that makes it a more marketable site. Other things, we are still trying to work with the landowner in Earlham for some infill housing possibilities in the future. In Winterset, we did identify a bunch of, new housing opportunities in Earlham. In Winterset, we did identify like a bunch of infill housing possibilities in the past, and people in Earlham, elected or other officials in Earlham have asked us to do the same for Earlham. So we're gonna go through the city of Earlham and try to create a spreadsheet in terms of looking at what are potential lots, what are large splittable lots, just so that we have that information available.
For infill or for?
That would be infill. Infill is probably where you're gonna get the most affordable housing, you're not gonna have to pay for new infrastructure, so if you want like starter homes in that moderate 2 range or below, that's probably, you're gonna be looking at probably infill housing right now. Just because a starter home in Winterset right now, for instance, probably 3.25 really, if you're gonna pay for curb gutter and infrastructure like that.
Do those fall under section 8 housing then?
No, they're above that, yeah. Yeah, but they wouldn't count for workforce housing tax credits. Workforce housing tax credits go up to like, I think it's 275, 250, so. On our revolving loan side of things, we had 4 that were on the table. We know that, Ben Franklin sold, so that one of them was looking at that building, and so that one's off the table, so that one's closed, so. The challenging thing with that was a lot of people were looking at that building there's no sprinkler system in downtown Winterset currently, which you know, the courthouse isn't sprinkled, and so, fire barrier in that building between the upstairs apartments and downstairs is about $100,000, so that was a significant barrier to try to get us over the hump, just to make that bottom space usable with a higher occupancy.
But it is sold.
It's sold, and it's sold to good hands, a lot of high faith in where it's headed, so, but we were looking at potentially being involved in one of those, and so it's off the table there.
Do you know what's going in it, or you can't tell?
At this point, it would be speculative. Yeah, I think it will be rented out, the bottom and the apartments as well upstairs, which is good. We want more people living downtown. More people downtown, there's more traffic, there's more money spent downtown. So that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's in good hands, and we'll see good things from it.
There was some concern, I know that, we talked about regarding if somebody were to add sprinklers,
Sure.
If we-
I think my understanding is right now the water pressure, currently the mains that serve downtown are not sufficient to provide the water pressure necessary to run a sprinkler
You
system.
don't have to.
You're right, but I think within the next 3 years, that is in the utilities plan to upgrade those lines. So then it's kind of at the land, well, property owner's prerogative, I think, at that point, whether or not they want to add them.
Be possible then after that point.
Well, it might be a thing where the revolving loan fund gets used to help properties, or we try to find ways to look at grants, to try to figure out how to get, because I mean, in essence, the downtown is vulnerable to upper story fires. And so any one thing we can do in the long run to protect that, prevent something like what happened in Albion the last year. So we lost multiple buildings downtown to fire. So that's kind of big picture and down the road is, something that's in our minds for the future. We can kind of plan around it. Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we have 2 more businesses downtown, at least definitely in Winterset that are interested in proceeding. We talked with the bank recently about those, and we have one in Earlham that's still a possibility there. Then we have one loan that's rolling off the table here, it's just got paid off, so we got $82,000 in the bank, and we got 3 potentials that we're looking at, so. Looking at Farmers Electric, they just had a loan closed for equipment, in the county, so that's good to see that business move ahead with their expansion. On the foundation side of things, we had 5 board openings, 3 of them have been filled, 2 of them we have applications that are just pending approval at this point. So as a net representation, the board tries to kind of represent the entire county. As an aggregate, the St. Charles will kind of lose a seat on the board, and Winterset will lose a seat on the board, and Earlham and Truro will gain representation on the board. So we try to kind of continue to spread that representation out. It's an important part of our process. So, but the foundation met, their plan is to grant up to $135,000, and they'll open either January 12th or the week before that, if we get all the changes they want done to the grant fund. There's more changes this year than in the past, so that is the plan with that stuff. Any questions?
Contractor availability for the cemetery.
Yeah.
I think I can help you with that.
We got a guy we need to reach out to, so the biggest problem is the guy we have now is his mobility is declined, and so just some of these cemeteries are in really difficult locations, and just getting out to them or having the right vehicle to get out to them, it's a lot of work. And just finding somebody who you don't leave out in the middle of, they're out in the middle of timber fixing cemetery stones for you with your cemetery fund, and they get injured. We want to make sure that we have somebody who's kind of capable. At this point, we're kind of, to the person that we have, who's kind of we're working with the most, we're kind of shepherding projects that are easier to access. So, but there are projects that are further off, and it's really love to find somebody else.
I think we can.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'd love to find another person to work with.
I'll help you.
That'd be fantastic. Any questions?
No.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Happy New Year, all yes.
All right. We are now in the time of public comment. If anyone, we're gonna go ahead and do the folks in the room first, and then we'll move to the folks on the phone. So if there's anyone here that wishes to make public comment, please go ahead and come to the microphone and project, because the microphone isn't working. But please state your name and your town, and you have 3 minutes. Doesn't look like anyone wants to comment in the room. If there's someone on the phone that wishes to comment, please remember to hit *6 to unmute yourself, and you have to state your name and your town, and you have 3 minutes. I'm gonna give them another couple seconds because of the time lag. I'm still unmuted, right? Someone unmuted. Okay. Someone wish to speak?
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Amber Better. I live in Winterset. I've never commented publicly regarding everything that's going on, but I do want to reference something just to make sure those that might be silenced are actually heard. So, and I will try to keep this brief. I want to reference a post that I saw from Roger Waddell regarding his observations of our county attorney, Steve Swanton. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to do a little takeaway of my own. And so his comment, again, it's regarding Swanson. After listening to Mr. Swanson's comments, I went back and watched the video of the attempted closed session Board of Supervisors meeting from October 27th that he referenced. This is in regards to Brett Sharon as well. I was appalled by the behavior of our attorney, who is supposed to represent our county and provide legal counsel to our elected officials. Mr. Sharon was right. Mr. Swanson's conduct resembled that of an angry junior high student resorting to name-calling, pejoratives, and emotional outbursts. This was pure obstructionism. Someone in this position should demonstrate professionalism, decorum, and self-control. Instead, what was displayed was childish behavior and rage-filled conduct, qualities our community does not deserve in a county attorney. What concerns me most is how this behavior is being normalized. This is my comment. What concerns me most is this behavior is being normalized or defended. My hope is that people begin to recognize they're being used as pawns in someone else's power struggle. This is not someone our community should be getting behind. Our county deserves better from those entrusted with such an important role. So yeah, that's my takeaway of what me and many, many others like me are seeing. And I can only pray that more people open their eyes to the reality of things that are really going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.
If there's anyone else that wishes to comment, please hit *6 and unmute your phone, and you can state your name and where you're from, and you have 3 minutes.
Good morning, this is Vicky Brenner, Winterset, and I'm calling in. I just want to point out that the person who just spoke ahead of me is making a public comment about something that is not on the agenda, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is part of your new policy regarding public comment.
That's just for
but in reference.
I'm sorry, Vicky, I didn't mean to interrupt. That's just for special meetings, public comment in our regular.
Okay, that's great. So
Yeah.
then that gives me, great, then that gives me license to make a comment about not only just the general unprofessionalism that is occurring among all of the culture in county government right now. So I would ask that all of you, not just Mr. Swanson, but you as supervisors as well, I'm sure you are aware that I have FOIA'd the comments that you made when you thought you were off the record. The audio remained on at one of the meetings, and you made several, both you and Supervisor Hobbs made disparaging comments about other people who are in the employ of the county. And if I need to go into more detail, I can do that. But there is just a general negative culture of disrespect. And it would go a long way with all of us out here in the public if you, as supervisors, and other elected officials like County Attorney Swanson would do your best to sit down at the table and figure out how to mend fences and build some bridges, and actually get down to doing the work of the people. And I make these comments as respectfully as I can. I made the same comments nearly a year ago in January, if you look back to my comments that I made at a January meeting, that you are elected to serve the people and stop with the negativity and the infighting. I appreciate you letting me speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. All right, if there's anyone else that wishes to speak, please hit *6 and unmute yourself and state your name, where you're from, and you got 3 minutes. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on into resolutions for board consideration. The first one is an auditor's resolution approving a common structure partial property tax exemption for 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
So,
Do I have a second?
second.
Any discussion?
Just a clarification for the public.
I can clarify this, because I did those. Water impounds, these, predominantly all of these are in Badger Creek watershed. Those were built, I believe, in the sixties and seventies, and they're flood control structures or siltation ponds. And they control about 2,800 acres of downhill flooding. When you put a piece of land, and they kind of did that on their, to be nice, they can not pay taxes on land that's underwater. So this amounts, I think the highest one might be $46 an acre, a year. It's not a significant amount of money. The Soil and Water send out the form, they have to fill it out and request it, and then it comes to us and back to Soil and Water, and they can deny it, they can. But, that's what they are. It's water impounds, they are flood control structures, and it doesn't amount to a lot of money, but their land was taken out of production to prevent flooding.
So they're providing the county a service.
They really
right?
were, and at the time, it was a huge service, because there are pictures out there of silt that went over fence posts. It was a really not good farming practice. It was a lot of flooding, and they are very beneficial. So it's a very minute amount of money. But the reason we didn't approve them last week or last meeting was I requested, and Sean and I agreed, that we need to see the impound request from each landowner, because if they don't send that in, then they're not eligible. So that's all that is. Do you have any questions, anybody? Sean, did I explain it good?
Perfect, yes.
And it's not annually.
It's annual,
Yeah, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, we're still in discussion. Is there any further discussion? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So,
Oh, you sorry,
We did
so we already did
Did
that.
that.
So, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. Motion carries. Next one is EMS resolution approving the anniversary step raise and longevity raise for G Boyle, totaling 24.60, effective January 1st. Do I have a motion to approve?
so
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. The next one is the Sheriff's Office resolution approving the date extension of the 2080 agreement between Madison County and the City of Earlham for certain law enforcement coverage from the Sheriff's Office. And they're extending the one we approved last year. Do I have a motion to approve?
So
Do I have a second?
Second, and maybe just point of discussion. There were no changes really.
No.
from
And they're
what I
both
could-
in agreement, that was gonna be my question. They're both in,
Both in agreement.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's basically the coverage we approved last year.
Okay.
They're just extending it out.
That was my interpretation, but yeah, actually, yes,
Is the
please,
sheriff
yes.
here? If you have any questions, I don't see him here, so, but that's the way I read it. So, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
She's a grandma, she has everything in her purse.
That's true.
Okay, all
Very
right,
much.
the next one is, the approving Madison County Board and Commission appointments for terms expiring. We got applications, thank you for resending those, so we all have it in one email. Of who we have two members that are stepping down, one from the Board of Adjustment and one from zoning. The rest are the folks that wanted to re-up. And so I will, my observation is, we had requests from members of the public to try to do better in making sure we represent folks across the county. We did have someone from Piru apply for the zoning board. We do not currently have anyone that represents that area on the zoning board. Currently, we have, and something on our website is not current, but we have Cumming, which is the northeast corner of the county, then Meador, which is northeast corner. We have someone from Truro, someone from Dexter, which is the northwest corner, someone from Earlham, someone from Winterset, and the person that is stepping down is from Winterset. So we do not currently have anyone on zoning. And Anthony Jones is from Piru, rural Piru, so, I would like to entertain him for
Well, usually we
zoning.
have the names on a resolution, because you don't know who you're approving by just this.
Yeah, it's on the resolution,
The names?
not, I mean, the ones that are re-upped are on there.
Yeah,
But
the new ones.
the new ones, that's blank,
We
Yeah,
write those
we
in,
write those in.
once you
Okay.
guys decide.
I'm just saying what I would like to see, some representation from PRO, specifically since we had a former, city mayor request that, and we had an applicant. And then for Board of Adjustment, we had 2 folks for that. Fred Howell is stepping down, he currently represents Winterset, we do have a Winterset representative there. We have someone from Truro, Earlham, Cummings. Sorry?
Fred Howell would be coming.
Yeah, he's up in the tree farm.
He isn't oh, he's
Yeah.
coming? Okay, it's marked as
Yeah.
Winterset. Thank you for correcting that. Okay. So we'll have to update our things here, but, so he's from Cumming, but we have someone from Cumming already there, Don Archer. We have someone from Truro, who's on, southeast. We have someone from Winterset, someone from Earlham. So we have the other the 2 applicants, one is from St. Charles, one is from Earlham.
You have Tyler Price and who else is there?
Price, not St. Charles, he's from Winterset, I apologize. He lives on St. Charles.
Tyler Price is Earlham.
And the other one was, his last name was Adams, was it Michael?
Oh, Mike Adams.
Yeah, Mike Adams.
Those were the 2 for the Board of Adjustment, correct?
For the Board of Adjustment, yes. So, we'll just, we'll have, so it's Winterset and then Earlham, so we'd have 2, we didn't have any, I wish we had someone from another area for that, so we could have more broad. So, I don't have a feeling either way for either one of those, cause it's gonna add to, someone's gonna have.
I would opt for Tyler Price and Anthony Jones. Because just.
Now, the only pause I have with Tyler is the real estate.
That's experience, and you've got a bunch of other people on there, so he's one lone vote. But it's experience.
I just had members of the, I'm not opposed to him at all. I like that experience, he's a resident, long-term resident.
Long-time resident,
Resident of
dad was
Madison County.
a long-time farmer.
The only pause I got was from some folks that they don't know if it's a good idea to have a real estate developer on there, cause there might be some bias, I don't know, that's the comments I had. I'm kind of neutral, it doesn't bother me either way.
Then I'll make a motion. Are you ready for a motion?
Jess, did you have anything to say?
Are we focusing on the zoning commission first?
Well, the zoning commission, we're in just discussion right now.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on filling the open spaces?
For which one? I mean,
Well,
to me, if we could talk through each.
All right, board adjustments is first. My suggestion was Tyler Price, so we'll hammer that one out. It's between him and Mike.
So I would
Adams.
rather talk about zoning first, cause that might change my mind on the Board of Adjustment, depending on who we select for zoning.
okay,
Well, zoning would be Anthony Jones. That would give you representation on that far part of the county. He lives way out by Peter.
I can't, yeah,
One spot, right?
it's one spot. And Brenda is the one that's stepping down, she's served on there for a long time, she's rural Winterset. So. What are your thoughts?
I know that, Brian has given us his opinion, so I guess I'm going to, I'm kind of split on that one. I could get behind either one. So I'll defer to Ryan's opinion on this, he recommended that would be Tyler
For zoning?
for zoning.
Okay,
And then I have, who I would like for the Board of Adjustment is Mike Adams.
Did he apply for Board of Adjustments?
Yes.
He actually applied. And I know you said that, Tyler originally applied for zoning, but then you had spoken to him and said he'd be interested in Board of Adjustment too.
I like having varied, people, I guess, I'd be okay with him serving on the Board of Adjustment too, but I like having the varied perspectives and some fresh ideas and thoughts on there.
But you prefer Tyler on zoning rather than the Board of Adjustment? Okay. Well, and you want Mike Adams for the Board of Adjustment?
Correct.
Okay. What do you think, Diane?
I hate to be mean, but I think Facebook posts matter, so I'm gonna stay with my original, suggestion. I think they do. And people are very weary. I don't, but I get calls, and I think it gets very weary. People are so weary of constantly pointing out the negative of everything, but never suggesting. I think they're weary of it, and that's why I thought maybe we should just stick with Anthony Jones is very rural, and there is getting to be some development around Peru of them, because it's pretty. I don't know.
Well, I think they just put a wireless tower out there too, so hopefully we'll get some.
And I like, that he is rural, and we've gotta kind of think of farmers, and Tyler was all farming background, and some of that is,
So
and I know.
Anthony Jones, though, did he apply for the Board of Adjustment or only zoning?
Only zoning.
Only zoning, so.
Would he do either, do you know?
I don't know about anything.
We'll leave Tyler up at, Board of Adjustments and put Anthony in P and Z. Cause, Tyler said he'd do either.
Yes.
So we could flip it around.
What?
Diane suggested Tyler Price for Board of Adjustments and then Anthony for zoning.
Right,
I'd be okay with that.
so instead of Mike Adams for Board of Adjustment. Okay, so what I'm hearing is Tyler Price for Board of Adjustment to replace Fred, and Anthony Jones for zoning to replace Brenda. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, both rural, so we're getting a little, I think that's, yes, I would make that motion.
Consensus? Okay. Okay, all right, again, the only pause I have is real estate. I'm just concerned that we're gonna lose sight of that.
I know him somewhat. I find him to be objective and, intelligent and objective, and I think it'll be okay. I do agree, I understand that,
Yeah,
the worry, but
that's
I
my
think
only-
he'll be objective and fair. Cause he will have an understanding of, there is smart planning and there are some really bad planning. Urbanization without pause is not healthy, and I
Well, the
think
Board of
he'll have some-
Adjustment,
I
actually,
understand.
the Board of Adjustment
Yes,
doesn't really
brings-
come into that.
No.
That would actually be more zoning.
I know.
Board of Adjustment comes into play when people are asking for exceptions to the ordinance. And that's when, and I'm harkening back to the turbines, that's how we got into that fight initially, is because our Board of Adjustment said yes to that. And that's my concern is, we worked really hard on a comprehensive plan that, to protect the county going forward, so things like that don't happen again. And that's my only pause, is that was a very long, painful, drawn out fight.
Well, we have a motion on the floor, so let's move forward.
We don't.
I made a motion I will make a motion to have Tyler Price on Board of Adjustments and Anthony Jones on PLC, Planning and Zoning.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Brian, would you let the folks know? Tyler and Anthony. And so we approved the resolution, with, the folks that wanna stay on, and with the new seats being with Tyler and Anthony. Okay. All right, let me get back to my resolutions here. Sorry, I
You're under.
lost my screen again. Okay, Yeah, so. Okay. Approving county office closings and holidays, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Next one is approving Des Moines Area Metropolitan Planning Organization appointment 2026. Normally, this is Mike and I. Do we wanna keep it, you and I?
Yeah.
Does anybody else want it?
Nope, you can have it.
That
I was
quick.
so hoping you both would just step right back up.
Yes, me too.
All right.
the primary?
The primary for
There's two different.
tech and policy, so you're the primary for tech,
Check.
and I'm the secondary, and then I'm the primary for policy, and you're the secondary.
And we actually have, we can sit at the table, but we don't have a voice, is that
We
correct?
don't have a vote.
As of right now.
Okay. Oh, is that gonna change?
Good.
It could, depending on how weeks stand. But the main reason why I go is that's how we find out about grants.
Listen in on it
When is it?
It's once a month.
once a month, and then they'll have some special meetings.
Thank you both for doing that.
Yeah, but that's how I found out about grants and he's found out about stuff, or we found out stuff that they're doing that we don't wanna come to our county, so then we proactively prevent it. So, anyway, so I'll, do I have a motion to approve,
I will make
me
a
as the
motion.
primary for policy, and Mike as a secondary for policy, and Mike as the primary for technical, and me as a secondary for technical.
I will make a motion to retain Stancil and Hackett as, for the MP.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor, please vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, approving the sale of the 2014 Toyota RAV4 from the Madison County Environmental Health to Madison County Assessor's Office for $13,000. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, so Sean, you're getting, Andrew's old vehicle?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, good, I like it. So, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Okay, moving on to approving, the commitment to purchase a new ambulance, for $298,997. And this is to get the ball rolling. It doesn't mean we're actually gonna be spending the money this fiscal year, because
It's to get it.
it's to get it ordered.
2 years.
Yeah, there's a 2-year lead time. If we get lucky and somebody backs out, we might get one a little sooner. And then every 6 months, we've been informed that every 6 months moving forward, there's a $15,000 minimum increase starting January 1st. January 1st, July 1st, for the foreseeable future, there's a minimum $15,000 increase. So, if you
This
guys
stops
approve.
that.
So you're locking it in.
So if you guys approve this, I will, get this to them today so that we do not get charged $15,000 more than this, starting on Thursday.
Yes.
All right, so I will so move.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, go run and do
Yeah,
that.
right.
Go Brady.
Get it in writing.
I've got the signed form right here.
Oh, we have
I'll
to sign
scan
it.
it, no, I
Oh.
sign it, I'll scan it to them.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
And then we do have a year, if within a year, we have a year from the date that we send this in to back out, no penalties.
Okay, good. Good. All right, I don't think we will, but good to know. Okay, next one is approving secondary roads closings and holidays for 2026. It just so happens Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are on Thursday and Friday anyway, so.
Yeah.
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 But you still have to do it.
Still have to do it.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next one is approving designation of Mike Hackett as the 2026 Madison County Rep to SHRPA, thank you, TPC, TTC, and with Cole Currents as the alternative representative. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
We do have a vote.
I'll say,
Did you say I?
No,
as
I
in favor?
did, I
Okay.
said I, and I was gonna say I'll save you from trying to tell us what those acronyms stand for, unless you'd
Thank
like
you.
to. Okay.
Central Ohio Regional Transportation.
Association.
Yeah. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, approving secondary road engineer authority to close roads temporarily. This is something we do every year. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next one is to approve, secondary road engineer authority to approve utility permits. Again, something we do every year. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next one is approving secondary road engineer authority to execute projects in connection with all farm to market and federal or state aid construction projects. Again, this is something we do every year. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And the next one is what you spoke to earlier, Mike, about, approving secondary road engineer authority to designate life expectancies of fixed assets and infrastructures of the secondary road system and to approve the attached list. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. All opposed, motion carries. All right, next one is application for license permits and cancellations. Motion to approve the application for renewal for the core license for the Madison County Livestock and Fair Association effective 15 October. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I do, why is it back
Yeah, I
so
was-
far? October,
That's when I got the application. I've reached out for the last couple of months and they didn't get it.
they just didn't turn it in. Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, and did we voted to approve or we still? Okay, all right, next one, other business, we're moving on to board member reports. Who would like to start?
Go ahead. Well, I think it was mentioned earlier, we had some budget meetings and ran through that, with most of the departments. So those were some great meetings, some great feedback. It's wonderful to start that process in December and not February. So thanks to the auditor crew and all the department heads for getting on that and getting that process rolling. We have the public health building and Veterans Affairs, the building, we will be talking about that here in under old business. That was my main concern and objective for today. And then we have to potentially schedule another meeting for a closed session, which we emailed about this morning, so. That's all I've got for board report.
Okay.
I just, budgets. That's about all I've done.
And Christmas.
And
Oh, I have
Christmas.
lots of Christmases.
Okay, pretty much the same for me, budgets, and then, took some time off for Christmas. And we're gonna hit the ground running again come January with budgets, cause I'd like to have stuff done sooner, rather than later, so we're not behind the 8 ball like we were earlier this year. That's all I have. So we'll go on to old business, and you had put the public health building on there.
Yes, so, I don't know the date of that meeting where Thaddeus read from the, letter from the commissioners protesting the move, to the courthouse. Would've been great to have that information a long time ago, but, here nor there, originally, I know there were concerns about handicap accessibility and then moving into the courthouse. You know, my plan A, way back earlier this year, when I first started looking at this, was why can't we move Veterans Affairs to the Elderly Services Building? Now, there's offices back there, there's dedicated office space, there's room for a conference room. It would need to be refinished, of course, we would need new carpet and paint. They would have 1 or 2 different walled offices for their storage, in addition to the whole warehouse area out there. The only caveat and the challenge, the experience at that time was, elderly services, they only have one handicap accessible bathroom in the hallway. The doorway to get there from this back space isn't wide enough. But when we're talking about potentially widening a doorway at the courthouse, doing that anyway, to be able to use the courthouse space, maybe we should consider the elderly services building, there's dedicated parking, if there's a disabled person, they could pull right into the dock.
Well, there's two entrances.
There's two, the entrance on the south side, the brand new one they just built to access for the meal site, that's handicap accessible.
It is completely flat, and then
It's
if you're
completely flat.
a walking person, you can go in the back door that used to be
Yeah.
Brady's office.
That's a good idea.
But the back space though, the challenge is, I mean, they have dedicated space for Veterans Affairs,
I
but
don't
the
think
challenge
the
is that they need a
bathroom would be
bathroom.
hard, I don't think it would be hard to put a bathroom in there. I was
Well, so
There
there's
is.
currently a bathroom, okay, there's
Yeah, but
two.
have you been in it? It's fearless.
So the current bathroom it's accessible through the warehouse.
Yes.
The doorway would need to be widened. The current lavatory the toilet is actually back in a space, it's not accessible where it's at presently. That would have to be totally remodeled. And where the shower is, there's a shower there currently, of course, we don't need that, they could probably pipe in, connect, and we could potentially put a toilet in there to where they would have their own dedicated, or we could explore, I don't know what it would take to widen that doorway for them to be able to get in, if they could get into the hallway, then they could use the restroom that elderly services uses.
I'm
Is
not
that part
opposed
of
to this.
hallway?
You
I think
reached
that's a
out to
good idea.
Veterans Affairs?
No, I wanted to,
We'll talk about it with us.
number
first.
one, I wanted to go back out and refresh my memory and look at the space, which I did some measurements and looked at. I know Thaddeus wasn't very receptive, because it is kind of a dump right now, but again, if we're gonna have to do carpet and stuff anyway at the courthouse, just because of widening a doorway, why not give them their own designated space?
And that would,
I will remind you guys that we got an agreement that
Yes.
conservation, we don't have a shop, we're selling our shop building. So we agreed to allow us to store our equipment in that.
and you can store,
EMS.
there's lots of space for you to
Well, I'm
store it
just
in the
saying, you guys are
garage.
talking about a total remodel of that, including the shop area, which is where we would store our tractors. If we lose that, then I'm gonna just forewarn you guys that we're gonna be requesting money for additional shop building, because we're not gonna have them.
How
You can't
much
leave your
space?
equipment outside.
How much space?
Our
do
skid
you-
loader is over 12 foot, so I can't get it in any of our buildings out at payment. So
I
that's the
think-
only building that I can get our skid loader and our tractor and our lawn.
Okay, I think we're,
If you're talking about just the
I don't,
office
we're
areas,
just talking
that's
about the
different.
office area, we're not talking
That's-
about the whole shop area.
She was mentioning the shop area, which is totally different than the office areas, because
The office, just the office area, because you're right, we were planning on
Well, you
using
need a
that.
space for Joan. So.
There's two offices
There's two
there,
offices.
they would have space for each of them to have
I've
their own
slept
office
out there when I
and
was-
a conference room for them, and two storage, there's 5 little
And then that
different
would free up
areas.
even more space in our building, the
So,
courthouse.
yeah, so the only space that we're talking about is the office space back in that,
I worked
West corner.
part-time EMS for 15 years.
Me
There's
too.
2 offices out there and there's 2 bedrooms.
but it's the bathroom that would be the challenge, but how much of that space, cause I know Mitch has a need for some space in that area too, that currently he's got out in public health. So
If
he's
you wanna
gonna.
talk to Mitch and Jason Barnes, the sheriff, because that's the challenge that we went through, and we made the agreement to let us occupy some of that space for our equipment.
Yeah, I'd love to just maybe we could even meet out there if okay with you and just talk through what space do you need and where, so we can make sure that we preserve that for you.
Yeah,
I think this is worth pursuing.
Yeah, I
I think
think
we
so
should
too.
look into it
Yeah.
and reach out to, Veterans Affairs.
yeah, I think because there's bedrooms and there's 2 other office spaces, there's plenty of space
Well,
for.
they don't need the bedrooms.
No, but I'm saying,
Easily.
but I'm saying those can be gutted and turned into another office. But there's options, I think that's a great idea.
It's like a closet.
Please don't forget about public health and DHS.
So,
We're
Right,
required
well,
to.
DHS can still come to the courthouse, or they can come here.
Okay.
So if
I
Mitch
just wanna
moves
make
out
sure
there, we can move it.
we just didn't forget that we need to put them somewhere as
Was
well.
there room for Mitch to
Mitch
move?
moves out where?
He moves out to the elderly, gets an office out there,
Well, why would we move Mitch?
or we can move Mitch into the courthouse.
I'd like to get him near to the sheriff's department, but I guess we're gonna have to determine how much space Veterans Affairs needs there.
So the thing is too, with DHS, they have a node at Public Health on the ICN. They're required to be on the ICN, they cannot be on our network. So wherever they go, we would have to make sure that there's a node there for the ICN network. So there's already a node in the courthouse because of the court system. So wherever we move them, they'll need to let the ICN know ahead of time so they can move their node out to wherever. So like if they go to the annex here or they go to elderly services, we need to let them know that, because it's a 30-day turnaround.
So I think, step number one would be to get some contractors out there and give us some at least budget areas of order of magnitude, to evaluate this. And I can talk with Michelle on, because you've already engaged with some, I'd like to get
I have.
multiple, estimates on that. So if you ladies are okay with this, I'm happy to help, engage with them and get them out there to do that, and I'll work with Michelle on that as well. Let's explore that option. From the beginning, I loved this option because it gives them their own entrance.
But
It's
I don't
private.
recall I love the idea, but I don't recall it being brought up.
She mentioned
I
elderly
had-
services once, a couple times, but I don't think to the level of detail you are now.
And not here, it was
Okay.
multiple conversations with Thaddeus and Susan know, it was last spring when I started pursuing this. And I actually took them out there, we met on site, and things kind of went from there,
You're
so.
gonna have to look, it could be a pretty big cost out there, but I think it's worth pursuing.
It could be, but if it gives them a more adequate, we've heard a lot about the complaints with the accessibility, the bathrooms. That would give us less urgency for addressing our handicap accessible issue, of course, doesn't mean we don't still need to do it.
Well, I don't think they're gonna allow you to you can't knock out any walls in that
Well, we're not
first
talking
floor.
about knocking any walls. First of all, we have to get the.
I think this is a better alternative.
I think it's a better alternative. I still want the state to come back for the courthouse, because I think down the road, I still would like the courthouse to be fully ADA compliant.
What's the status on that?
She emailed me, Friday before Christmas, saying she had to come back to the courthouse to redo some measurements or something. She was gonna come back on the 22nd. I don't know if
She
Michelle,
never reached out
never reached out to
to
you?
Chip or I, so we're not sure.
she might have just come and done it.
That's
and
what we were thought.
Yeah, I told her, since I wasn't gonna be there, to reach out to Michelle or Chip if she needed any doors open, because I didn't know what she wanted to do.
Sure.
I mean, if I
So-
missed a message too, I would apologize, but I don't recall.
No, it was, I told her it was a holiday and she might miss it.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm hoping, I'll circle back with her, this week to see, when she thinks she'll have a report, done. So we can have a better idea of what
Yeah,
we have.
So you're gonna pursue this, good, I think it's a good idea.
yeah, if you
I
ladies
would
are
reach
okay
out to
with that.
Thaddeus and Jones, just so we, yeah, good idea.
But I think that's good, cause it's quiet, it's not as active, and it's more private.
Then do you want me to pump the brakes on painting what was to be, cause while we had the painters here, we were gonna have them go over and paint my old vault. Just stop and don't do that then?
Well.
Cause we moved all the cabinets out.
What do you think? Do you think it needs it?
It does, it's
Oh,
just,
yes.
it's
Okay.
that,
My
and again, it's not a lot, so.
It's just the old
Remember
vault area, that's it.
That we moved all the stuff out of and to accommodate what could have potentially been a conference room
seen
for
it.
him.
I don't think that's been painted.
It's crazy.
since I've been
And my
here.
only concern would be if we change what we're gonna be doing, I mean, we don't know what we're gonna be doing with that space, so I don't wanna.
Well, painting won't
Paint won't
affect
matter.
anything, I mean, if we were gonna do carpet or something,
Yeah,
but again,
that's okay with me,
Me too, go ahead and paint it.
cause hopefully we won't be changing any walls or
They
anything.
won't.
Well, we really can't change
can't.
it. Well,
oh, that's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I basically said, we're not moving those books, those old, I mean, the second I touch them, the bindings are gonna fall off.
They
So-
have this, yeah, you don't want to.
So, again, whoever takes that space is gonna inherit a beautiful,
It is
historic,
backdrop.
fabulous,
Go for it.
So that, yeah, that's fine with me,
All right.
and just, but definitely hold on any door
oh,
binding
no, I
or
mean,
anything
that's
like
why I
that.
said, no,
Yeah.
I did not schedule anything.
Okay, that sounds great,
I'm trying to be sensible.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Alright.
All right, so you're gonna take the lead on that then?
Yep.
Okay, great, good job. Okay, new business, payouts to newly elected officials.
I did research on this, I reached out to other counties, it's cleaner and easier for payroll and all, pay it out.
So what is this about?
It would be, if you are a first deputy,
Sorry.
and then you become an elected official, as a first deputy, you have, sick leave, and correct me if I'm wrong, sick leave and vacation and personal time. When you don't pay out sick. What?
We do not
pay out sick. Right, right.
Yes, vacation.
So when you become elected, you don't have sick leave, you don't have any of that, so.
So you have to pay it out.
So,
Okay.
some counties pay it out after they retire or leave, others say pay it out,
Just get it
it's,
done.
it's cleaner, pay it out, easier for payroll, pay it off.
I'm sorry.
If I may, Mike Galloway, I reached out to him and he said that is, most counties' policy.
Yes.
Is if someone goes from a first deputy to an elected official, that they would get their,
Or any position to an
Yes,
elected
yes,
official.
yes.
Okay, okay, I think that's cleaner. Who would that affect?
Just treasurer.
Kylie.
Kylie? Now, okay,
In the past, that is how we've handled it.
Yes.
okay. And I know it's in her budget, cause she's under budget, significantly under budget. So if we do it, this year would be the year to do it.
Oh, and I was told by other counties, and I think Galloway, the department heads should kind of keep that cushion in their budget in case that happens. You know, if a elected says, I'm gonna retire, or I have terrible health problems, and somebody steps up, they should just kind of have that in mind in their budgets, because it happens.
So one of the things I have on my list, and I think that's on me to get my list of handbook changes. I keep thinking of other things, but, that's one of the things I have on there is just limiting the amount of rollover for comp time, paid time off, and limiting that, so we don't have another scenario like with the assessor, for example, that we had to pay out a ton of vacation time when she resigned.
Yeah, I've never gotten that, I use it or lose it, and,
I'm okay with some overlap, but I think we need to limit it, so we're not having.
well, we'll wait, we better not.
Yeah, so we can talk about that, but so for this purpose, is if someone in-house becomes an elected official, that we would have to pay it out, and it makes sense to me.
And it's been requested, and so I think we need to move forward, get
Yeah.
this recommended.
I think that's a good idea, especially since we definitely do have it in the, but do we have to do an amendment for that, or can we just pull it from somewhere line item? Cause she's way under budget because she was understaffed for a while.
I don't believe,
It'll just
I'll
come
just
on.
have to check. My first blush is you don't, because the thing is you're looking at your fund balances for your different departments. As long as end of year, you don't go over that, like we were talking about the reason we were okay moving certain expenses prior to the approval, but we weren't gonna be over or spend more than our ask.
It would just come off her
Okay.
payroll budget, and,
Okay.
yeah, but she's.
I just wanna make sure it's
My only reason I didn't just spit out an answer is because, I don't know what fund that's paid out of. Meaning vacation and sick. Is it part of payroll?
Right.
Cause there is no line item, there's IPERS, there's FICA, and then there's salary, and I'm gonna guess that's out of salary.
I think we've always pulled it out of salary.
So that's why, the reason I'm answering that way.
And does her salary come out of just one line item, or is it split, kind
One.
of like your office?
One.
Okay.
Mine only comes out of one as well. I mean, she's got her,
Different duties.
I've got my elections, and I've got my administration. She has administration, and she has motor vehicles.
Okay, got it.
So for the next regular meeting, Kelly will come up with the amount, we'll just do a resolution for it, is that correct? Michelle?
Or is it just?
I think because we've discussed it, we should put it to a resolution.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes. Good, thank you.
That makes sense, thank you. Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay, next one, last one, but not least, 2025 priorities. We're gonna be changing this to 2026 priorities. And ordinance review and update, Ryan, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, we held a work session on the 22nd of December. We made it through the 68 pages of definitions, and just started into the narrative, kind of the meat of the draft. And this is just a zoning ordinance, nothing has been done with subdivisions yet. Next work session is going to be held January 27th at 6:30. Again, that's a work session. The zoning commission is asking that the public send any comments about the draft to me, so that they can review it, and we don't have to spend as much time. I think we spent a little over an hour at the first work session just listening to public comment. So it's very early. As we go through this, they're gonna be making changes to it as well, so if there is anybody that would like to send comment, have them send it.
All right.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. So our next, regular meeting
So maybe
is
closed session when you want to do
the 13th, so just wanna make sure you update everything to.
And please don't forget, we have the second.
Oh, yeah.
that. You're
right,
meeting
second.
Friday.
That's right, but that's just for an organizational meeting.
Correct.
Though we may have a resolution or I'll have to check with, the Board of Health Chair. I think their supervisors approved their 2080, so maybe we can get that resolution on the 2nd.
So you guys are going to go ahead and sign off on the 2080 instead of it be between the two boards of health?
Well,
That's different.
the way the Warren County likes having their Board of Supervisor just kind of sign off on it. And even though it's technically just between the Board of Health, we don't have to, it's just a tradition.
So you would like to do that?
They do, I think that's a good tradition, I think we should. So legally, the boards of health can do a 2080 and we don't get involved, but their supervisors like being able to see it and sign off.
So when we talk about that, we'll wanna talk about it in the resolution it's just acknowledgement.
It's an acknowledgement, it's not an approval, it's just an acknowledgement.
So it needs to be worded as that then.
Exactly.
So,
All right.
So we have a meeting 9:30 this Friday.
organizational.
And
And
it's
I'll confirm with the Board of Health Chair if that actually happened. I think it did, I don't have to check. And if so, I'll send it.
You know,
Well,
this is just
100%
an organizational meeting, we need to be careful by adding, we should
Well,
add
still-
stuff on regular meetings.
Well, we had a potential closed meeting on the 5th at 9.
That's possible.
That was,
Potential.
Did it end up being something, cause I haven't heard?
I've not
I
heard
haven't heard
anything.
either.
That's the last I heard was Kelly.
Yeah,
She's got it.
Kayla sent out an invitation.
Perfect, yeah,
So it's Monday the 5th at 9?
That is correct.
Okay.
and that's all we wanna say about that.
Yeah, no. And then you wanted another maybe, when did you want that one?
Well, the 13th is our regular BOS, and we're trying to stay with that,
I
and
think we should.
So,
I mean,
Can we do something on the 13th?
so you're saying we want the acknowledgement for the 2080 or 13?
Yeah, I think you should stay with, regular business on your regular meeting.
I just wanted to, well, that's true, it's already, they both signed, it's already technically in
Yeah,
effect,
so it's
so
in
we can't,
effect,
it's a
so
moot point. Okay, yeah,
do it
let's
in
just do
your
the
regular
13th,
meeting.
that's fine.
And then if you want that possible other thing, why don't you do that same day after? Or is that too late?
Let's see,
what day do you,
for the other closed session.
Maybe you should go 13th, so you're consistent. Even if it's close, I don't care, I'm just
well, I don't
suggesting.
wanna do that at night.
No, I don't wanna do that.
Oh,
Number
yeah, the
one.
13th is that night meeting.
Why don't we just do if we're gonna have a closed session on the 5th, just do another closed session on the 5th, or we can do it on a different day. We could always do it on Tuesday the 6th, since we have a placeholder at 9:30.
But let's
I wanna
stay-
give them a couple of days and times.
There's
to-
potentially for, safety committee, we're gonna have somebody on site that day on Tuesday the sixth.
Okay,
So unfortunately, I'm pleased.
Can you do it on the fifth?
I can do it on the fifth.
I can do it on the fifth.
I guess, Diane, are you open to that? I certainly don't want another repeat of what happened last time. Trying to meet like this. Are we, everybody on board with this?
What happened?
For a closed session?
Closed session.
Oh, I'm okay with the fifth. Now we have one at 9. When do you wanna make it?
How much time do we think we'll need on that other one? I mean, do we
Or,
wanna-
I would anticipate two hours.
2 hours, okay.
So Kelly, yours is.
Why don't we do it a different day?
So how about 11:15?
Well, you could break for lunch early and then come back later.
Oh, that's true. Do you guys wanna do that?
I never care.
It's almost
Whatever
like
you
to
say.
eat.
Yeah, I
So are you okay with that? Break
What
for
time?
lunch early?
yeah, what time then?
So on the fifth, then Michaela, can you adjust that to a 2 hour? Meeting time? And then that would, come back at 1? Is that too big of a break in between?
That's all right.
One's fine with me. Do we wanna pick another date and time in case that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Well,
But
why
that's
don't
your priority.
we have
So what other date would work, date and time? You said the sixth doesn't work for you.
The 6th doesn't,
Is there any reason why we can't schedule safety meetings not on the days we have a placeholder?
this is separate. We have IMWCA is coming
Oh.
for a site walkthrough. It's totally different. It's not a typical safety meeting.
Oh,
How about
Otherwise, I wouldn't have
Thursday,
scheduled
the
it
8th?
there.
Thursday the 8th for that second, if possible.
Thursday the 8th, I'm open.
I can do Thursday or Friday in the morning.
How about Thursday the 8th at 9:30?
Can we do a little later?
Sure.
What about 10?
Sure.
10 is fine.
10 and 8? Okay, so the first option is 1 o'clock on January 5th or 10 on January 8th. Okay, I will let you gals know what's decided. Okay, anything else? Otherwise, I'll entertain,
Do you want to, just pencil in the 12th, 13th, and 14th for your next?
work sessions?
Sure.
Yes.
And you're gonna call the people and get them all set up, set that schedule out
Correct.
again? I love that. 12th,
So 12th, 13th, and 14th? Now, that's gonna be a long day on the 13th, because we have the meeting in the evening.
You wanna
So
do
as
12th and
much-
14th?
As much as we can consolidate into.
Friday the 13th.
I doubt we'll need 3 days. I think we're gonna need 1 day.
Yeah.
So Monday the 12th? Because we'll also have to give direction on, cause salary increases unless we wanna wait until
I
after
would
we meet the
wait.
union.
That's still early.
It's still early.
That's 12th, 13th, and 14th, and you'll have, why not? The 13th though
What,
is we do.
what about you, Jess? What day
Yeah,
of those?
I can't set aside 3 full days back to back. I can't do that. I have other obligations, so,
Okay, so the 12th, would that work at all?
can we say the 12th and 13th and consolidate it at least into those 2 days?
Are you okay with, it's gonna be a long day on the 13th?
I am.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? Yeah, we could do the afternoon on the 13th.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we can do that. Are you okay with the afternoon on the 13th?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do the 12th.
Okay.
At
do we
what
want-
time on the 12th?
I'll let you
You'll find out.
Yeah, and then the afternoon of the 13th, then we'll just roll right into the supervisor meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as we get bio breaks.
I'm sure we can arrange that. Okay, so,
12th and 13th.
okay. And did we have any other, I seem to, maybe I'm misremembering, do we have anything else scheduled or we talked about, any kind of work sessions and all?
I recall.
No, okay. We were just gonna wait till after the holiday, okay. So we have the 12th and the 13th for work sessions.
And is that's okay with you, Michelle?
And you'll set up that schedule again.
We'll set that
Great.
schedule just like we did before.
And you've already printed out the budgets for us.
Yeah.
Libraries and all those
Yeah, you have those
We have
in your
those, yes.
possession.
We do.
I just wanna invite them to present to you.
Yes. Thanks, Michelle.
I've got down libraries, risk management, elderly services, economic development, fairgrounds.
And we haven't checked this in a couple,
Cover people.
yeah, we haven't checked this in a few years, but the code determines how much we're required to give to the libraries.
Yes.
Would you mind double checking and making sure we're still in line with that? I know we were way over what the requirement was, but we haven't checked for a few years, I wanna make sure we're not.
You were at the top with one city and not with
We were on it, when we first looked at this, I think it was
two cities at the top.
2021 or 2022, everyone was at double, but valuations have changed since then, and I wanna make sure we're still on track. So,
All right.
thank you. All right. Anything else? Any other discussion? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on adjourning? All right, all in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned.